Belgium's nightlife has been unique since the 90s, with its past techno and house clubs now evolving into open-air events like Modulaire. Many people attend these events, but it comes with a lot of drug use that is changing in many ways. Traditionally, the most used drugs are cannabis, MDMA, and cocaine, but this is about to change.
Now the fourth player is very interesting. It's ketamine. Ketamine is something that poses a lot of threats because what we've seen is that young people actually tend to use ketamine, and that's really a trend starting up in nightlife, while an older public is still interested in cocaine. Well, cocaine's too expensive for young people.
What is the new ones, I would say, are 3MC and ketamine. These are the ones that haven't been very widely used in the past 10 years, I would say. 1.5 after being here, I discovered ketamine. I liked people were doing it, so I tried it.
Ketamine is a powerful drug that was originally used as an anesthetic, but it's now becoming popular in the party scene, while 3-MMC is a new synthetic drug with a purpose to mimic amphetamines and MDMA. Both are usually consumed by sniffing.
Like ketamine is more, you are kind of, you try some hallucinating things, so you go out of something, like you are in a party and then something, you try an effect that you never had before with MDMA or ecstasy.
The effects of like the negative effects of like ecstasy and MDMA is like much more heavier than using ketamine or 3-MMC, because they're after effects of ecstasy and MDMA makes you like really, it puts you in a very downward spiral sometimes. But with these drugs so far, I haven't felt that kind of feeling.
3MC, you can stay awake the whole weekend if you want. And like you don't have this down suddenly that you can have with MDMA. Like 3MC, you are awake, you are like more controlling what you are doing. So I think that's why also people like 3MC.
I feel like people are starting to use it more now as a recreational use. And I mean, I'm starting to hear that like now it's like actually a thing that you can buy a ketamine spray. Basically, it's like an inhaler kind of spray.
The shift towards synthetic drugs like ketamine and 3-MMC was heavily influenced by COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown.
So I've seen that now for the past years. Synthetic drugs is very common. We've seen that during the pandemic, there was actually no fall of everything on drug use.
So, but what I've heard about it, I think, the people were doing drugs at home and they tried, like for my friends, they tried drugs for the first time during COVID-19 at home.
Post-COVID, like ketamine got like really popular in the last 2 years, 3 years, I would say.
Belgium's and Europe's drug scene is known for its purity. Last year, only 6,000 people in Europe suffered deadly overdoses. This is in contrast with the United States, where the number of deaths exceeds over 100,000 people a year.
But a very important trend is also that we have a stable market. In terms of quality, the drugs on the Belgian market is quite okay. People are so accustomed to the good quality and just to be secure that they know what their products are and they have their customs of how they go about it. This will change. It's bound to happen. The question is just when.
I would say the appearance of nitazines, synthetic opioids that are very potent. This we haven't seen before.
We see popping up that cocaine is now mixed with ketamine. It's very different in products, it's very different in effects, and it will have an impact in terms of physical effects, but also mentally, that people will actually get hooked to certain products that they weren't addicted to, or that they will actually just have very bad experiences, and that has a mental health impact.
But why is this drug ketamine more dangerous?
Because producers are very creative in producing cheap but dangerous drugs. So yes, by putting toxic chemic materials into a cheap drug, that criminals, on top that they do not earn huge amounts of money to the detriment of users, combat these guys. That's the beginning.
The issue of ketamine and the rise of other synthetic drugs was being discussed at the 13th International Club Health Conference in Ghent. This conference itself is mainly about
the conference on nightlife and more specifically on healthy nightlife. So like how can we use preventive strategies, so how can we use protection strategies to make nightlife more safe for everyone.
Not only data researchers and European policymakers were present, club owners also attended the conference. For example, co-founder of Modulaire, Gilles de Bruyne, who takes a different approach to tackling drug usage.
At Modulaire, we just make sure we have plenty of chill-out space. So we are known for, I hope so at least, to be very accommodated. Like people will have packed dance floors, but you can also go just lay down in a hammock for 2 hours and no one's going to judge you. Like if you need some time cooling off, go do so. If people would actually have bad experiences with certain amount of drugs, being it alcohol or MDMA or ketamine or whatever, we are there to help you and not make it worse.
The rise of ketamine use begs the question: will Belgium and the EU be able to tackle this new threat?
Because we do have mechanisms in place in terms like from the early warning system in each EU member state that will, as the name says, early detect a new trend. I do believe that the current European systems will be able to detect such trends if they come, and they will be localized, hopefully.